What if I told you that your bank account is being drained by things you don't even question anymore? Not because you're careless, because the entire system was built to make bad spending feel normal. Here's a number that should stop you cold. The typical household now spends over $78,000 a year just living their normal life. Paychecks grew a little, spending grew a lot more. And that gap isn't closing, it's widening year after year. But the real problem isn't just inflation. It's that dozens of everyday purchases have quietly turned into traps. Things that used to be smart, reasonable choices have transformed into overpriced habits that eat your future wealth for the sake of convenience today. Nobody sent you a memo when this happened. The prices just crept up, while the value crept down, and most people never noticed. And here's the part that really stings. This isn't happening because people are bad with money. It's happening because entire industries have spent years engineering products and pricing models specifically designed to slip past your rational brain. Subscription models multiply. Convenience fees stack on top of other convenience fees. The rules you grew up learning about spending simply don't apply the way they used to. So today, I'm walking you through 12 things that stopped being worth your money and probably still have a grip on your wallet right now. Some of these will feel obvious the second I say them. Others might genuinely surprise you. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll never look at your monthly spending the same way again. Let's start with food delivery apps. Ordering dinner through your phone feels harmless. It isn't. Restaurants get charged massive commissions by these platforms, sometimes close to a third of the order. So they quietly raise menu prices just for app users. Add delivery fees, service fees, small order fees, and a tip, and a $12 meal can balloon past $20 before you've even eaten a bite. Do that twice a week, and you're looking at over $1,500 a year, just so you don't have to drive 10 minutes. Put that same money in an investment account instead, and over 2 decades, it could grow into thousands of dollars a year in future income. The app isn't selling you convenience. It's selling you a slow leak in your finances. And these platforms are built to keep that leak flowing, with one-tap reordering and saved payment info designed to stop you from pausing long enough to ask whether tonight's dinner is really worth an $8 markup. Next, brand new cars. The second you drive off the lot, your car loses a huge chunk of its value, sometimes a fifth of the price gone instantly. By the end of year one, you could be underwater, owing more than the car is even worth. Meanwhile, a well-maintained car that's 4 or 5 years old has already taken that depreciation hit for someone else. It'll run reliably for years, and you can resell it later for close to what you paid. Financially successful people already know this. Most self-made millionaires drive practical, unglamorous cars they bought used. A car is transportation. Somewhere along the way, we let it become a status symbol we can't actually afford. Think about it this way. Buy a reliable 5-year-old sedan with cash, drive it for 4 years, then sell it, and you might barely lose any money at all. That's close to free transportation. Compare that to financing a brand new SUV, where the monthly payment alone can top $700, nearly $9,000 a year. Restaurant dinners. Eating out has become shockingly expensive for what you actually receive. A burger, a drink, and an appetizer can run you close to $40 alone. 2 people going out casually can easily spend well over $100. Drinks are where restaurants really make their money. A cocktail might cost them a couple dollars to make, but sells for triple digits in markup. None of this means you should never celebrate a birthday at a nice restaurant. It means the habit of eating out every week without thinking twice is quietly costing families thousands of dollars a year that could have stretched much further at home. A family that treats restaurant dinners as a weekly default can end up spending more on eating out than on their car payment. And unlike the car, that money leaves nothing behind. Then there's streaming. Remember when cutting cable was supposed to save you money? Now you need 5 or 6 different subscriptions just to watch the shows you actually want, because every platform locks up its own exclusive content. Add them all up, and you're paying more than cable ever cost, for less convenience, since your favorite show keeps jumping between services. The fix is simple. Subscribe to one platform at a time. Binge everything you want, then cancel and move to the next. You get all the same content for a fraction of the price. The streaming companies are betting that inertia keeps you paying for 6 services when you're realistically only watching 2. Fast food is next, and it's not the deal it used to be. A basic The combo meal at almost any chain now costs more than a home-cooked dinner. The entire appeal used to be cheap and fast. Take away the cheap part, and all you're left with is fast and not particularly good for you, at premium prices. Someone grabbing a $13 combo meal 3 times a week is spending more annually than a decent home grocery budget for less nutrition. Number 6. Chasing the newest phone every single year. The differences between generations have become nearly invisible in daily use. Same apps, same speed, same photos your friends won't even notice are slightly sharper. Yet people line up to spend over $1,000 for barely their upgrades, while manufacturers quietly slow down older devices to nudge you toward buying again. Buying a phone that's 1 or 2 years behind the newest release saves you hundreds of dollars with zero real difference in your day-to-day experience. The same logic applies to laptops, tablets, and TVs, where the marketing push dwarfs the actual improvement. Then, expensive weddings. Somewhere along the way, adding the word wedding to any purchase doubled or tripled its price. Flowers, photography, venues, everything gets a markup simply because of the occasion. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Couples who spend heavily on their wedding day statistically face a higher divorce rate than those who keep it modest. A beautiful, meaningful ceremony doesn't require draining your savings or starting your marriage in debt. A backyard gathering or a simple courthouse signing with close family creates just as much emotional weight as a ballroom with a 5-figure price tag. Number 8, travel that outpaces your income. Vacations create real memories. Nobody's arguing that. But flights and family trips have gotten dramatically more expensive, and too many people are financing that week away on credit cards they'll be paying off for months. The joy of the trip fades fast. The debt doesn't. Budget alternatives, road trips, home rentals, cooking your own meals while traveling deliver most of the experience without the financial hangover. The goal isn't to stop traveling, it's to stop letting 1 week away undo months of careful budgeting. Then there's buy now, pay later financing. Splitting a $200 purchase into 4 easy payments feels harmless, almost clever. But research shows people using these services end up spending significantly more than if they just paid up front, because breaking a price into smaller chunks tricks your brain into ignoring the total. Missed payments pile on fees, and what looked like free financing turns into real debt for things like sneakers and skincare, not a house or a car. If you genuinely can't pay for something today, splitting it into 4 charges doesn't change that. It just hides it until the bill catches up. Number 10, name brand products. That premium detergent, that famous pain reliever. In most cases, the store brand version is made with nearly identical ingredients for half the price. You're not paying for better quality. You're paying for a marketing budget. Making the switch across your grocery list can save you well over $1,000 a year for products that work exactly the same. In blind tests, most people can't tell the difference between the store brand and the famous label, because chemically, there often isn't one. Then, subscription boxes. Mystery boxes of makeup, snacks, or accessories tap into the same thrill as a slot machine, the excitement of not knowing what's inside. But the contents are usually worth less than what you paid, and cancellation is designed to be a hassle, so you keep getting charged for boxes you forgot you even signed up for. Multiply that $30 or $40 monthly charge across a year, and you've spent hundreds of dollars on items you never asked for. And finally, the daily coffee run. A specialty coffee habit can cost you close to $2,000 a year, compared to pennies per cup if you brewed it at home. Invested over decades, that gap could grow into $250,000. That's not an exaggeration. That's just what compound growth does with money you didn't have to spend. Nobody's saying never treat yourself. Just notice when a $7 habit becomes an unquestioned daily default. Here's the pattern running through every single one of these: convenience, status, and psychological tricks designed to keep you spending without thinking. None of these 12 things are evil. If any of them genuinely make your life better and you can afford them without wrecking your future, that's completely your call. But most people never actually make that choice consciously. The spending just happens, quietly in the background while life moves on. The moment you start asking, is this actually worth it? Everything changes. That question alone could put thousands of dollars back into your life every year. Money that either disappears into someone else's profit margin or starts working for you instead. Stack even a few of these habits together, and you're talking about $10,000 to $20,000 a year that could be building your future instead of funding someone else's. That's not a small tweak. That's the difference between feeling stuck financially and actually getting ahead. None of this means living joylessly. It means spending on purpose instead of by accident. Every company on this list is counting on you to keep going through the motions without asking questions. If this opened your eyes even a little, hit subscribe, because there's a lot more where this came from, and your future bank account will thank you.